Just a word to the wise. Don't go out and work in your shop in your bare feet. Welcome to Keeper of the Mountain. Today's little bit is going to be all the odds and ends necessary to put the engine back together and put it in the car. For example, we need this. We need this cross member cleaned up and painted because that holds the transmission up. And the motor mounts need to be cleaned up and painted. And the transmission mount needs to be cleaned up and painted. Not to forget all the bolts. The bolts and nuts and washers and everything have to be cleaned, and they have to be painted, which is a chore in and of itself. Look at how dirty that already is, already brown, just in that little bit of time. But we're going to let them soak a bit, do their thing. Set them outside where they can breathe. Oh, way better. That's a lot cleaner. Now to finish it with some soap and water. Okay, so I'm putting the cross member back in, and if you can see it's offset. It comes forward and then back. And there's a reason for that. Because if you use the C4 automatic, it is one length, and if you use the AOD transmission, it is a little bit longer. So you install it one way for the C4, you flip it around, you can put an AOD in it. That's really handy because at some point, I am probably putting an AOD transmission in this car. And when I do that, I don't have to look around for another cross member. I can just whip this one around and put it right back in, and off we go. At least that's the theory. So we'll see how well that works, because you know how it is. Universal fitting parts usually don't. And I'm going to put this in using 3/8 threaded rod, and this is way too long. And the reason I'm using 3/8 threaded rod is because it'll hold the weight just fine, but I want grade 5 bolts with nylocks on them, and I don't have those. And I want to get this transmission sitting in place, and then when I get the 3/8 bolts with nylocks, I can put them in. So, well, change of plans. I didn't have any paintbrushes, so I had to go to the store and get paintbrushes. So in the process, I also got the bolts that I needed. So I pulled the cross member back out, and now we're just going to paint everything before we put it in. Well, you know, I've been sick for 3 days, and 4 days. I'm still sick. Anyway, I feel like I wasted 4 days in a row. But in reality, it was only 3. On the 4th day, I was still sick, which is today, and I just couldn't take it anymore. I had to do a little something. You know, I'm always saying that you need to do a little every day because a lot of littles make a big. Well, I spent 3 days, and all the little I could come up with was trying to get better. But at any rate, I'm trying to catch up and get done what I had planned to do this week on the engine. What I'm planning on doing is getting the rest of the little pieces painted that go on the motor, and then getting the motor installed in the car. In order to get the motor installed in the car, I have to get a few more things painted and installed and put in place. And you know, it's going to take some time. So hopefully, you know, I can get the painting done today, and tomorrow hopefully the paint is dry, because this paint takes its sweet time getting dry. And we'll see. We'll check it in the morning, see how it looks, and we'll see if we can start putting it together tomorrow afternoon. Hopefully. You know, we can always hope for the best. So, in the meantime, I've got a little advice for you. No matter how sick you are, no matter how tired you are, don't ever go in the shop in your bare feet. Yeah, take a look at these parts. Boy, there's areas without paint. Every piece has it. You just can't rush this process. This paint takes 2 or 3 days to dry. I painted it yesterday. It's still sticky today. Every part needs a second coat, because it's just not, one isn't enough, you know? One is just not enough. I mean, they're going to look nice, but I can't force it. My goal was to take that engine and put all the front cover on it. Right there. Put the new front end on it. Get it back in the frame down here, hooked to the transmission, which is right there under the tarp. Get the bell, the bell housing hooked up, the torque converter, flywheel, everything all hooked up and all in there, so that we can start putting the radiator and the grill in, so we can do a first start. But that's not going to work for this week, because these parts just aren't ready, and I'm not going to force it. So I guess that's a wrap.